Welcome to Python is a Snake series for Introduction to Python programming language. So this class is designed for Minerva student, but if you are not Minerva student, you're also welcome to learn the basic of Python through this tutorial. It's open to everyone, but there are some part is designed specifically for Minerva student. In case you don't know what is Minerva, it's my university. So in this tutorial, we're gonna overall gonna talk about 10 sessions. So what I'm gonna do is for each sessions, I'm gonna show the basic concept, and then at the end of the session, I would give a practice for you to do, and then I would create a video that's telling you how to solve the each practice, so you can see the logic behind the solutions. Also, for each sessions, they maybe have multiple videos, especially after the 5. This is gonna be quite a lot of time to explain what it is. Anyway, let's just go start it. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how to install and use Python 2.7. I know there's a lot of debate over whether using Python 2 or 3, but in general, if you are like in this level, introductory level, it doesn't matter that much. There are differences. I cannot explain them along the way, but it's not a big deal of choosing either one. When you go to the intermediary or advanced level, and you will see a lot of differences. But for now, Python 2.7 it's good. So what IDE is integrated development environment. So basically, that is a text editor that you can use to write your code and then run your code. That's what it is. And the most standard one is you go to python.org, and then you have something called IDE. I know you already have Python pre-installed if you're using Mac or Linux, but you can still go here and download this for the sake of getting the IDE, which is basically a text editor for your code. It's in this package, so you just click it and just go ahead and install it. But I personally prefer Sublime because it just looks much nicer. Wow, they have more functionality in this text editor. You can do a lot of tricks, but for me, it's just good looking. That's why I'm using it. You can download it. So for this tutorial, I'm gonna use Sublime extensively throughout in most of the cases. But you are feel free to use IDE or other type of IDE, or there's something called PyCharm if you like to use, or I'm gonna also talk about Terminal if you want to use it, and I'm also gonna talk about Jupyter Notebook, because if you're a Minerva student, you probably gonna deal with the Jupyter Notebook. So you can download this Sublime. I already downloaded them, so so I already have them installed. So here, you go to Spotlight and go to IDE, IDE 2.7. So here's a shell window. So what shell window is a place that you can write one line of code and execute it right away. So basically, it's a line by line enter and execute type of fashion. So if you do print hello world, I will explain this later, but in general, this just means that literally print out the word hello world. Notice there's quotation mark here. I will explain that later. It's called literal string, and you click enter, you get hello world, and you can type 1+1. So it's like line by line fashion. That's shell window. But when you write code, you oftentimes need to write multiple lines of code and then execute them at once. If that's the case, then shell window certainly cannot handle that. You need to use something called editor window. So you go to File, New File, this would give you an editor window, so you can write multiple lines at the same time at this window and then execute them at once. So if you do print hello world, and then a equal to 5, which is assign the value 5 to a variable called a. So now the a has a value of 5. So it's 2 line of code. If I click run module, which is they have shortcut of F5. You can do F5 or click this. You save it first before you run desktop. Sample.py. Save it. Okay, you run it, and then you see there's hello world here. So so basically they print out and then assign value 5 to a. It doesn't print it out because it's not print, so it doesn't here. But the good thing of idle is that in here shell window you can access to the variable after you run the code in your editor window. So now in this case a, you get 5. If you a plus 5, you get 10. So you can access the variable here, which is pretty good in this case. That's one advantage of using idle. The disadvantage, as you see, you have 2 windows open. Wow, but it's still manageable. Then I would introduce to Sublime. So Sublime, open with Sublime. Same thing, same title code here, same file. Just different display, different interface, different text editor. So that's called IDE, different IDE. So here, the same code, and if you do .py as your files, you typically already have Python here. They already know you're gonna run Python code. Otherwise, you need to select Python. If you run it, in this case, tools build, which is the shortcut is command B. You do command B, and you get the word that printed out. But as you can see that this is not a shell window. So if you do A, it doesn't give you anything. So this is just something called console. It purely just print out stuff. You can't access anything here. You can't execute like here. That's the disadvantage of Sublime. So for terminal, if you do Spotlight and then type terminal, you get terminal. Well, when you do terminal, you may see something different than mine. That's because I just think this type of style is cool. So if you go to the preference, you can choose what type of style you want. You probably in this type of style. I using this, so if you get something look different, just don't be surprised. Just a style things. So the reason I put terminal here is I want to tell you the third way of compile or run this code. So now you do you go to the directory of here, which is the desktop, cd desktop, meaning go to the directory desktop. Now you're in a desktop directory, and you want to run this file. So what you're gonna do is Python space and then the file name, and then click enter, and you see it run your code and print the result. And that's the third way of doing running Python code. So now if you want to go to shell window using terminal, you just type Python, and you get you go into the shell window. But as you can see, there's no A here, even after you run it, so they are completely separate things. And this is just some independent shell window. You can just mess around with it, but it has nothing to do with the code that you just run. So that's shell window. If you do exit parenthesis, you can exit it. That's the way you use terminal. If you like to use terminal, because if you're using terminal, the good thing is that you can even use text editor, the real text editor, to edit your code. If you do a exclamation mark here, and then you save it, Command S, save it, and then you run it again, Python sample, you see this explanation mark. So you can use text editor for it if you combine with terminal, which you don't even need to download anything. That's a third way to do it. So next I'm gonna talk about Jupyter Notebook, which is for Minerva students. So if you're not Minerva student, you can just skip the last part for now. It's the fourth IDE I want to talk about that you're gonna see extensively in your assignment and all that. So in order to install the Jupyter Notebook, you need to do pip install. Well, it's Python 2, so pip. You can type pip 2 or nothing here. If you Python 3, pip 3. So pip install Jupyter. That's it. And then you click enter. I'm already installed it, so it will say, oh, requirement already satisfied. But when you click it, it's gonna just install for you. So now I want to open the Jupyter is clean it. Now I want to open the Jupyter Notebook. The way I do it is go to terminal and type Jupyter Notebook. Just click enter and bam, you get Jupyter opened in your browser. So it's the browser-based type of IDE. And then now you can see here, use new, create a Python 2 Jupyter Notebook, and then now you can do stuff here, print hello world, stuff like this, and then run it, and you get hello world. That's another IDE that you can use. Let's give a name for it. This notebook, give a name for it. And notice that if you save it, it's autosave. If you using Jupyter Notebook and you go back, you see your directory here. This is actually, let's see in the actual file. It's actually .ipynb. It's not a .py file, so it's gonna be different. And you can only run this in the Jupyter Notebook, the IDE. So this is the differences if you want to use this. I'm gonna talk about why this is better in the future, but it just show you how to open that, how to install. So Control C, and then you can shut down. You can shut down the Jupyter Notebook. Here you shut down, so connection file, and that's it. So thank you for watching. See you next tutorial. Bye bye.